Hey guys, in this video I'm gonna show you one of the most powerful and cheapest PC for gaming and rendering in 3D modeling softwares, video editing softwares, and also engineering softwares. Also in this video I'm gonna show you how you can assemble a PC just yourself, and if you are afraid of damaging your PC parts or something like this video is great for you because I show you a step-by-step in-depth tutorial, and that's it. Okay, for the first section, let's take a look at some great footage of this new PC.
There was an accident down the road and... What's going on? Oh no. They're coming. Who is? What the hell was that? Do you have a gun? What? Please tell me you have a gun. No, why would I? It's only a spare. Take it! Take it! Tell me what's out there. Hey, are you listening? Hey!
Hey, Kirk. Want to talk?
V, been a while? Spin it. What you need?
Pepe asked me to talk you up.
What, he too shy to hand over the Eddies himself? Nah, tell him I don't bite. Not yet.
Cut him some slack, will ya? He'll pay. Just needs some more time.
Do I look like a priest that runs a charity to you? You borrow Eddies, you gotta pay him back. With interest. It's common fucking knowledge. Y'all agreed then? Kinda in a rush here.
We are.
Glad to hear it. Always said you were a bright bulb. Head to Ember's in the Glen. Rick's in the garage. Be waiting for you. You two will hit it off. Good luck out there. We'll be in touch.
Morales has my vote.
Man, it don't matter. Perales.
Over here, Arthur.
That's quite a scratch you got there. Never thought I'd say this, but it's good to see you, Arthur Morgan. You don't look so good. I don't feel too good, neither. I'm freezing. Don't die just yet, cowboy.
Come on, compadre. Well, can't go back the way we came.
Passos! The hell was that? I don't know what the fuck that was. Let's go.
Things had gone from fine to fucked up in about a second, and now there were two idiots at the wheel.
Clear. Got this floor?
Sure.
Look after yourself, bro. Stay safe.
It wasn't my own safety I was concerned about, trophy wife or not. I'd said I would protect the girl. I hoped I hadn't lost my edge, along with everything else. It was time to choose, a nasty fall or a bullet to the head.
So I'm not wearing any woolen clothes, and I touched a metal door handle before doing anything. As first step, I try to take out the motherboard from its plastic bag by grabbing the right edge of the motherboard and put my finger on the plastic parts of the motherboard, such as memory slots, CPU slot, and power supply connectors. As you see, I grabbed the Ethernet and audio ports with my left hand. As you see, there are plenty of metal pieces on the motherboard, such as ICs and capacitors, which is recommended to do not touch them in order to prevent the risk of static electricity. And this is the way that you can handle and grab the computer parts. Your motherboard doesn't get damaged if you touch the metal parts of your motherboard, but it is recommended to do not touch them in order to reduce the risk of static electricity from your body into the motherboard parts. After that, put the motherboard on its white carton. Because the white carton is not electricity conductive, and you can put your motherboard on it without concern of short circuit between two different parts of the motherboard, especially when you want to test and turn on your system before inserting into your case. Keep in mind that if your saliva fell on the motherboard, you can dry it with ear cleaner. Make sure the motherboard does not move. After that, locate the triangle on the CPU socket and rotate it until it reaches the left lower corner side. After that, push and take the lever to the right in order to release it from the lock position, and then lift up the lever in order to unlock the CPU socket. Grab the CPU with its top and bottom edge and never touch the CPU pins. After that, align the triangle on the CPU with the one on the CPU socket. After that, put the CPU on the socket very slowly until the CPU fall into the socket itself, just like this. This is how CPU will look after installation on the CPU socket. In order to remove or unmount the CPU, first unlock the CPU socket with the lever, and after that grab the CPU left and right side with your both hands simultaneously, and then pull out the CPU very slowly until it comes out. Do not put pressure on the CPU and do not take it out without patience. Between the CPU and the CPU cooler there will be a small gap about 1 millimeter, and in order to fill this gap we use thermal paste which transfer the heat of CPU completely to the CPU cooler heatsink. You can spread the thermal paste with the provided scraper or by just installing the heatsink on the CPU. The differences between these two methods is that in the first one you can remove the extra thermal paste by the scraper, but in the second scenario you will have to remove the extra thermal paste with air cleaner after installation of CPU cooler, and also the first one will be easier than the second one. If the extra thermal paste is split on the motherboard, you can remove it by air cleaner soaked in rubbing alcohol. Also keep in mind that if you use a good thermal paste, it's a thermal conductor and it's not an electrical conductor.
sound right, boys.
The motherboard will be mounted on a series of nut-like standoffs which are in form of brass or plastic ones that you can see on the right side of your screen. In the first step, you will install these nut-like standoffs based on your motherboard screws locations, and which is specified in your user manual. And in this way, you are mounting the motherboard on a series of standoffs in order to make about 5mm distance between the metal plate of the case in order to prevent the short circuit between different parts of the motherboard, and also for passing the air on the back of the motherboard. That's how the motherboard is installed in the case. I checked the back of the motherboard that nothing was stuck to it.
It sound right, boys. Sound right, boys.
As you saw in this video, I've showed you how you can assemble your CPU cooler, RAM, and also I started to prepare the case for inserting the motherboard. And this is the end of part 1, video part 1. If you have any other question, you can ask me in the comment section. I try to answer each question myself. If you are uncertain about your chosen PC parts rather than the configuration that I proposed in this video, in this tutorial series, and if you need some consultant about your chosen parts, you can consult with us via our website catalog.com, and we review your chosen parts and give you some recommendation and give you and we will say you that your chosen parts have any kind of problem or not, and in this way you will get certain about your chosen parts, and then you buy them and then you assemble it as I showed you in this tutorial series. In the next video I'm gonna keep going preparing the case, and I will insert the motherboard into the case and start to make the cable arrangement in the case and other stuff that you will watch in the video part 2. If you like this video, show me you liked it by clicking on the like button, and if you are new to our channel, you can subscribe to our channel for receiving the upcoming videos. So see you in the next part.